Listen closely, ladies and gentlemen, for tonight I share with you the legend of Adunni, the spirit who guards these woods, whose story is as haunting as the cold silence of the night. Long ago, in our own village, there was a young girl named Adunni. She was a kind soul, known for her gentleness and beauty, as radiant as the morning sun and as generous as the rains of the season. She would greet even the youngest child, smile at the elders, and make offerings to the gods. Her heart was pure, her spirit bright, and she carried a charm from her mother, a sacred protection, as her mother had warned her to be cautious of those with dark hearts. One evening, as dusk fell and the birds settled into silence, Adunni found herself making her way through the forest to return home from visiting a friend in the next village. The moon had just risen, casting its faint glow through the trees as she hummed a tune, unaware of the dark shadows that lurked nearby. 4 men who were said to have lost their souls to wickedness, had been watching her. They knew her path, her timing, and with hearts as dark as night, they crept behind her, quiet as death itself. These men attacked Adunni, their hearts untouched by her screams or the tears that fell from her face. She fought as she could, but they were relentless, cruel, and filled with evil that only the gods could punish. By the time they left her there, bruised and broken, her spirit was already slipping into the shadow of death. But she was not alone. Before her last breath, she looked up to the heavens and whispered to the gods, asking for justice. She called upon Orunmila, the wise one, and upon Ogun, the fierce god of iron, to bring justice for her broken soul. As her last breath left her body, she vowed, "I will return to seek justice upon those who did this, for they have no peace, nor will they be safe from my spirit." The villagers mourned Adunni's loss when they found her, and they buried her in the earth beneath the great Iroko tree. They knew her spirit was restless, and whispers spread quickly through the village. People began to say that Adunni had returned, that they saw her shadow in the forest at night, her white dress floating like mist, her eyes dark with vengeance. It was as if the forest itself was protecting her, hiding her as she hunted for those who had taken her life. One by one, each of those men met a dreadful fate. The first man began seeing her in his dreams, her face pale as the moonlight, eyes fixed on him. He'd wake up screaming, seeing her silhouette in his window, hearing her voice whispering his name. It wasn't long before he stopped sleeping altogether, driven mad by her shadow that never left him. One night, he ran into the forest, trying to escape her, but he was never seen again. All the villagers found were his footsteps leading deeper and deeper into the dark woods. The second man, upon seeing his friend's madness, thought he could escape by leaving the village. But every road he took circled back to the forest as if Adunni herself was guiding his steps. He too vanished into the trees, swallowed by the silence, his screams echoing back to the village. The villagers whispered, "Adunni is claiming what is owed." The third man grew weak with a strange sickness. His body withered as if cursed, and he would see her in his fevered dreams, standing over him, silent, but with eyes that held the wrath of the gods. His voice grew softer as he begged for forgiveness, but Adunni did not forgive. He died in his hut, his last breath escaping with her name on his lips. And then there was the last one, the one who had started it all. Fear filled him as he watched his friends vanish, one after another. In desperation, he confessed his crime to the village elders, hoping they could protect him. They sought to cleanse his spirit with a ritual, but Adunni's spirit would not be denied. That night he saw her outside his door, her eyes like burning coals, her voice whispering every terrible act he had committed. The last thing the villagers heard was his final scream as he fell into darkness. By dawn, he too was gone, leaving only a silent village behind. Since then, Adunni has been known as the guardian of the silent forest. Some say her spirit found peace, having taken justice for herself, but others say she still walks the forest paths, watching over the innocent and seeking vengeance against the wicked-hearted who would harm them. So beware, for if your heart is tainted, do not wander alone into the silent forest. You may yet meet Adunni, and she does not forgive easily. Remember her story well, for the silent forest has many ears, and Adunni is still listening.
Thanks for listening and subscribe for more amazing stories.